Good morning, students. The next topic under chemistry in everyday life is antiseptics. We have seen a lot number of subtopics. Under the topic antimicrobials, we are going to see the last subtopic, that is antiseptics and disinfectants. What are antiseptics? Antiseptics are nothing but chemical substances which can be applied on the surfaces of wound, cut, minor surgeries, minor diseased areas. Okay. Unlike antibiotics, your antiseptics cannot be ingested directly. Instead, it can be applied only on the surface of wound and cuts. So, example for antiseptic will be furosin and sulfamycin. Whenever we say antibiotics, immediately we will be thinking of Dettol and Savlon. See, Dettol is a combination or it is a mixture of chloroxylenol and terpineol. So, what is Dettol? Dettol is nothing but a chemical combination of chloroxylenol and terpineol. Bithionol is a chemical compound which is applied to the soaps or which is added to the soaps in order to impart antiseptic property to the soaps. So what is biothenol? Biothenol is a chemical substance which can be applied, which can be added to the manufacturing. While manufacturing the soaps, they will be adding this particular compound which is going to impart antiseptic property to the soaps. We have seen lot number of soaps which are available in the market. They are sold by advertisement telling they have got an antiseptic property. So which component is responsible for the antiseptic property of soaps? It is nothing but bithionol. Even we know about tincture of iodine. So how tincture of iodine is produced? Iodine in the proportion 2 to 3% in alcohol water mixture is called as tincture of iodine. Even tincture of iodine can be topically applied on the diseased surfaces and the cut surfaces and on the wounds for better healing and easy drying of the wounds. Then boric acid will be acting like a mild antiseptic for eyes when it is used in dilute solutions. So that's all about antiseptics. What are disinfectants? I told you antiseptics can be applied to the living tissues. Your disinfectant is nothing but the opposite of antiseptics. They are chemical substances which are applied to the non-living tissues like floors, instruments, tables, drainage system, etc. So example for disinfectant include chlorine in the concentration 0.2 to 0.4 parts per million and sulfur dioxide in low concentration. They act like a disinfectant. There are some substances which will be acting both like an antiseptic as well as a disinfectant when we vary the concentration. Say for example, phenol in the concentration 0.2% will be acting like an antiseptic. When you increase the concentration to 1%, they will be acting like a disinfectant. So we have seen about antiseptics and disinfectant. Antiseptics applied on the living tissue, disinfectants applied on the non-living tissue or non-biological tissues. Example for antiseptics include Dettol, a combination of chloroxylenol and terpineol, furosin, sulfamycin are the example. Disinfectants example chlorine and sulfur dioxide. Some substances you vary the concentration, they will be acting like a antiseptic as well as a disinfectant. Lower concentration, they act like an antiseptic. When you increase the concentration, they act like a disinfectant. So with the discovery of antimicrobials like antibiotics, antiviral, antifungal, antiparasites, what happened to the human population? You know, we were gifted with a prolonged life and a healthier life. Actually, these chapters were included in the syllabus before the discovery of corona. So all these antimicrobials were extending the lifetime of a human being. So they increased the lifespan of human being provided they were offered a healthier lifestyle. So what happens? There was an increase in the human population. Because of the increase in the human population, we faced a lot of problems like unemployment, then exploitation, over-exploitation of environment, then food production, like we were running out of shortage in the food industry. So taking these important aspects into consideration, family planning was proceeded, that is to decrease the human population. So family planning was recommended. So anti-sterility drugs came to rescue. So in almost all your birth control pills, Progesterone hormone and estrogen hormone play a very important role because progesterone hormone is going to inhibit ovulation. When ovulation does not happen, then what happens? No egg production. No egg production, so no fertilization with sperm, no zygote, no children. So, in order to decrease the human population, family planning and anti-sterility drugs came for rescue. The important component present in almost all birth control pills were nothing but your progesterone. So, progesterone hormones were they were chemically synthesized for the manufacture of birth control pills. Later, they found progesterone and estrogen derivatives were more effective than the synthetic progesterone and synthetic estrogen. So, example, norethindrone, this is a synthetic progesterone derivative, and novestrol is nothing but synthetic estrogen derivative. So, this two combination will be used more in the birth control pills because they are going to prevent ovulation, no egg production, so no fusion with sperm, no zygote and no children. Then we are moving to the food industry. So chemicals are also used in the food industry. Where and all they are used? They are used in the food preservation. In order to preserve the food, chemicals were used. So what were added? Which chemicals were added for food preservation? Preservatives were added. Then stabilizing agents were added. Then they are used to increase the appeal of the food. Like whenever I'm seeing the food, that itself is going to make me to eat more and more. It is going to increase the palatability of the food. So to increase the appeal, two varieties of chemicals were used. They are nothing but food colors. So they make the food attractive. They make more appealing. So food colors were used to increase the appeal of the food, plus flavor enhancers. Flavor enhancers were used. Then in third stage, where your chemicals are used in food, in order to increase the nutritive value of the food. So for increasing the nutritive value of the food, two compounds were added to the food, like vitamin supplements, mineral supplements and antioxidant supplements were added to food to increase the nutritive value. I am just giving a summarization. So chemicals are also used in the food industry. They are used in food preservation, that is preservatives, stabilizing agents. They are used to increase the appeal of the food. For that, artificial food colors were used, flavor enhancers were used. Third thing, they are added to increase the nutritive value of the food, that is supplementary vitamins, supplementary minerals and supplementary antioxidants. In that, we are going to see artificial sweeteners. This sugar content which we are taking regularly is going to increase the calorie of the person. So in order to decrease the calorie, especially your artificial sweeteners will be so useful for diabetes patient. So what is the role of artificial sweeteners? Your artificial sweeteners will give sweet to the food provided they will not increase the calorie content. So this is the main reason why artificial sweeteners are very, very popular in the food market, in the food industry. The most popular artificial sweetener used was saccharin. Saccharin is nothing but orthosulfobenzamide. So what is saccharin? Saccharin is nothing but orthosulfobenzamide, which was discovered in the year 1879. Saccharin is 550 times as, it gives you 550 times the sweetness as that of your cane sugar. And it is inert, it won't react with the human body, so it is harmless. So which was the second artificial sweetener used next to aspartame? It is, next to saccharin, it is nothing but your aspartame. Aspartame is going to provide 100 times sweetness as that of your cane sugar. As the name indicates, it is aspartame. So it is produced by the combination of aspartic acid and phenylalanine, which are nothing but amino acids. Aspartic acid, phenylalanine together is going to give you the artificial sweetener aspartame. Okay, but you know the use of aspartame is limited only to cold foods and soft drinks because aspartame is not stable at cooking temperatures. It will be destabilized. For that purpose, aspartame is used only in two cases. They are used in cold foods and they are used in the soft drinks. The third artificial sweetener will be allicin. Allicin is a potent sweetener. It is stable than aspartame. It does not provide you any calorie. What is the last artificial sweetener? It is nothing but sucralose. Sucralose is stable at cooking temperature, so it can be used in all the kind of foods. Sucralose is nothing but trichlorosucrose. It will not provide you any calories. So that's all. So in food industry, we have three uses of chemicals. Chemicals used as preservatives, chemicals used as chemicals used to increase the appeal of the food, and chemicals used to increase the nutritive value of the food. In that we are going to see only about artificial sweeteners. There are four varieties of artificial sweeteners like saccharin, aspartame, allicin and sucralose. All these artificial sweeteners will provide sweetness to the food. They will not increase the caloric content of the person. So they are very useful for patients who are planned for dieting, high fat content and high cholesterol rich patients. They will be recommended to use artificial sweeteners, including diabetes patients. So in the next session we will be seeing about soaps and detergents. Under detergents we will be seeing cationic and anionic detergents. Thank you.